Hi, I'm Rich with New Life Scientific, and today I want to actually show off a really beautiful machine. This is a Microfluidics. It's the M700 series. This one is actually the 250, which means it has two pump and also it has the 50 horsepower motor. This is the 20K model, which produces 20,000 PSI. We were pretty excited because when we got it in and realized it just had very little use on it, and I think it was 140 some hours, which we got the screen. We're going to look at that a little bit, but we got it all hooked up and we're actually going to fire it up and run it right now. This machine also was set up for pharmaceutical grade, so it has the heat exchanger on it that's all farm grade, and on the other end we're going to look at it too, but the pump, the diaphragm pump down there, pharmaceutical grade. So essentially what we're doing right now is we've just filled a 55-gallon container full of alcohol, and we're just pumping it out of the bottom up into the machine and feeding it down, and then it's just coming back through the heat exchanger back here and coming back out and then returning right back in. So just recycling it. So we've done a good flush on it. However, I don't think there's probably been any product actually ran through it with the low usage it has on it. So it has the thermocouples hooked up on it for your output and your input temperature readings here, so you can monitor that. It's all ready for a chiller to hook up right here. So it's all ready to go. It's just hooking up your lines and hooking up your chiller systems. But like I said, it's a beautiful machine. It does have the PLC touch control screen over here, and we're just going to navigate through this real quick. But so when we go back over here to the information page, and you can see that this unit hasn't even hit the 500 hour alarm for the first service on it. Total hours only 143 hours. Your first service would be at 1,000 hours. That's when you do your oil changes and your plunger seals and kind of go back through it. But like I said, it just hasn't even hit that low 500 hour alarm yet. So just been set up basically and ran. Same with the stroke counter. Just very few strokes on it compared to the amount of strokes per hour this thing does. So everything, like I said, is hooked up. We're just going to open this up, take a look inside real quick. The other thing about this unit was very impressive that it actually had a 15-channel interaction chamber already come with it, and it's made for high volume, so it really produces a lot of volume with that interaction chamber and that many channels built into it. So everything inside is really nice and clean. That's the way we received it. So yeah, we're gonna fire it up, run it for a bit, and then do a walk around again. And the quench fluid system's already hooked up on this unit too on the end over here. So this is the quench fluid option that they offer at the manufacturer. So this was installed, has a little diaphragm pump, and all it does is it just recirculates your quench fluid. It's normally the ionized water here, and it refilters it coming back through and just recirculates it. And it is running off the pneumatics that we have hooked up. So you can turn that on right here and run it. Runs really, really quiet, so you don't even hear it running. And so runs off the main air line. So that's all hooked up too, although I'm not running it right now, but we're going to go ahead and start this unit up. And basically my pneumatics is turned on. I'll come back over here to home and started the motor. And basically once you hit that, it's just coming down here and turning on the stroke. So right now we are running at about 4,000 PSI here. So we're going to be moving this up here, and I just noticed the outlet temp is giving me a let's go back here again. It's giving me a bad reading, so that must have just done that because it was working. So we'll look at the sensor on that. But over here we have just the push button control to raise the pressures. So I just hold my finger on there and it's just slowly going to raise the bar and start raising the pressures. And we're just going to move it all the way to 20,000 psi max clear out so that you can see that it does run up to 220K. It will get just a little bit noisier when we start running that. There he is, 21. Pretty much maxed out at 21,000. And I do have this panel not buttoned down here, but I need to tighten that. So I'm going to walk over here and just kind of give you an idea of the flow rate that's coming through. And you can see how much flow is coming through there. Like I said, it has a 15 channel interaction chamber. Just a good amount of flow. I'm going to be measuring the actual flow and just to see what kind of flow rates we can get with that interaction chamber. But runs really nice. No issues that we've seen. It's really set up, ready for production. You can see inside there the cylinder's running. It's got two stainless steel pump plungers. One thing I like about the dual plungers is that we never lose pressure. It stays at consistent pressure without any pressure drops. You can see just how consistent the pressure stays. When you need that real consistency, especially in farm grade, you can't have any inconsistencies. You can just dial this in really well, and it just really holds that pressure consistency that you need when you find, you know, what your formula really needs to be, and just dial that in. And while this is open here, we'll just take a look inside. You can see we got the hydraulic line that runs up. Just look how clean that is in here. I mean, this looks factory new inside this thing yet. So we have our hydraulic pressure here. That's pretty typical. 3,000 is about max, which runs it to the max on the peak pressure of the hydraulic, pushing against our fluids. And then here's our air pressure here. And then again, just pull up to turn it off, and then lower the pressure back down here so we're not starting it up again at high pressure. And you can see the noise reduces as we lower the pressure. And then we're just lowering the hydraulic pressure here. Motor off, shut it down, and then over here has a knob set up to turn off our initial product pump down here. You just shut that valve off and that just shuts down the air to that, but that needs to be turned on so that you can actually pull the product up and then push it in, and we need to maintain about 60 to 80 psi, I believe. Maybe it was even a little higher than that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're running closer to 100 psi to maintain the right pressure to feed the plungers. So like I said, really nice machine. We'll just walk around. Again, we've covered the quench fluid. If you're wondering what quench fluid is, it's actually fluid that flushes out the plungers and helps preserve the plunger seals. So some products kind of want to cling to the plungers if it's stainless and it wants to drag it in. And if we can flush that out, it'll actually kind of keep it clean so that it doesn't destroy the plunger seals quite as often, and kind of keeps them longer lasting. But We actually have a panel off on the back here. You can kind of see we have the an air shut off here. Or no, I'm sorry. This is actually the oil drain for the reservoir. The oil, that's where you would drain your oil there. So this shut off valve is for that. And we got some pneumatic lines coming through, and some of the plumbing there. But all the basic options you need is so that you have two three-way valves, so you can actually flush the machine really easy after each run and clean it up pretty easy. So like I said, about every option is offered on this, especially if you need the pharmgrade. So I think that about covers it. Like I said, well, we'll cover this real quick here. We do have the power controller for it. This is what's coming in from this is ran off a high voltage 3-phase. So we have a line coming into it, high voltage, and then your starter and all your, for your motor controls is built into this box. And then it's ran off the PLC over here, but you can see the conduit that's just flexed. This would normally mount on the wall behind the machine, and you would run your power into it too. So we've just got it temporarily just sitting on a table here so we can run this demo. But I think you know, we could even shut it down if we want here. Well, no, we got the screwdriver. I'll let that go. But just your normal standard starter mechanisms for high voltage machines. So anyways, that pretty much covers it. And I know you know, I probably missed a few things, but I'm always here. Like I said, I'm Rich with New Life Scientific, and if you have any questions on this machine or any other microfluidics units we have, you know, from bench top all the way up to full production like this machine. So we do service them here, and we carry spare parts, and we have a lot of how-to videos on how to replace plunger seals, and we're continually doing more. So if you have any requests on anything you want to see how to do on this, you know, just send us, you know, through our link below, and we can vet it and see if it's a video we want to add to our collection. So thank you for watching, and I'm here if you need any more questions. Thank you.